I really credit the writers. How I knew that like I was really in stride is like one of the things that like, you know, I'm just so grateful for. Like I knew that when I got the role of Jazz, that Jazz was, there's no like real order because we're all important, but like being realistic, like the show is about Will Smith, right? And kind of show is about really like Will Smith and Carlton. And then after that, like the show is about Will Smith and Carlton, but like the Banks family as a whole. And I knew what Jazz was. So I'm like, good, I can come in and like do my thing. People gonna love me. That's great, you know? But I didn't expect the reception that I would get about, you know, through the first 3 episodes. I'm seeing people like, where's Jazz? Like, Jazz. And I'm like, really? Like, I'm just really just doing my job.
Right.
And, you know, E recognized that. The writers recognized that. So I'm seeing slowly but surely, I'm like, oh, I'm getting more lines. I'm doing like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in depth, like, you know, like we're really having real deep scenes. And I didn't ask for that at all. Like, you know, so I think that helped me kind of get into my character because it's not like I'm just like, yo, I pop up when Will is there and just like, yo, what's good, man? I give you some advice and pop out. Now it's like, and I think that is why in season 2, me and E had a conversation because, you know, now I'm starting to make certain choices that I'm like, man, I wouldn't do that. Like, come on, E, like, how my card decline at dinner in season 2 and I bring up LaMarcus, like me as a human, I would never do that. Right. Like, if I feel insecure about somebody, I'm not going to tell my girl that. I might tell my friends, my mom, but in front of her, I'm going to keep it G.
Right.
And I'm like, how y'all going to have me saying, like, yo, if it was LaMarcus, you would have let him try again. I'm like, man, that is not what I would do. And they were like, exactly.
Right.
That's not you.
You're Jazz.
You're Jazz.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God, you're right. I was like, oh, wait, you're right. This isn't me. And so just honing into that and just accepting that has made me so much more like appreciative of the script because then when I see other stuff, I'm like, oh, that's why I did that. I didn't see that was coming, but that's exactly why I did that. And now this makes more sense because I did that.
It happened. So Jordan has always been inquisitive, okay? Not as much as Ollie.
I'm about to say, Ollie's
Ollie
Ollie's the one who plays Carlton.
He will. Ollie plays our Carlton Banks. He will sneak into the writers' room to see what's up on the board, to see what's going on,
and then look and be like, and they have to be like, yo, what you doing? He like,
and I tell you a secret. We knew he was coming in one day, right? We weren't gonna let him get all the way into the writers' room, but I wrote on the board so he can see from the hallway. Episode 6. Carlton ODs, right? So as we're out there laughing and talking and hobnobbing, I see him look, and then he's just like, yeah, and then he was just like, wait, what? And I was like, see, stop being in people's business. But Jordan would come, just like in season 2, this year in season 3, he was like, yo, for those who haven't seen it, I'm not gonna ruin it, but it's a hospital involved. And he was like, well, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, why would I do that?
I remember, man.
And I said, hey, man, look, let me tell you something, man. Come on over here. Let me talk to you.
That's exactly what
you did. I was literally be like, let me talk to you, man. I said, you got to understand what we're doing here.
Yeah.
We're telling a story, and a story can't be told in one scene.
Cannot.
Not when you're an important part of the sum of the season.
Yeah.
Right? The show. Our Jazz character, and the reason, going back to what you said earlier, was like, first 3 episodes, everybody said, where's Jazz? Where's Jazz? What we do as writers and as producers for any young, up-and-coming actors out there who are, you know, guest starring on the show or whatever that is, when we turn the cameras on and we start shooting these scenes and doing these takes, and we're looking, and I'm like, oh no, he's got it. He's got it. This is it. And so we go back and we talk about it. Oh, we got to do more. We got to do more. Okay, so how can we build this out? Okay, our cast is so dynamic and so great.
Man.
It's hard to stand out.
It is.
Right.
When everybody's standing out.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Wholeheartedly.
But you have always been one of those characters to embrace, right, the role. You put some swagger, some flair to it, right? And it just brought a different type of energy that people saw from the original. what you have to hone in. That's why it's grown, and that's why it's like it's your world out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody plays a great part. Everybody
They
does a
really
great
do,
job,
man.
It's a great ensemble cast. Not to give things away, so I'm not going to give away. So if you have not seen
Then y'all tripping.
season
Yeah,
3,
Keanu
Go see
or if
the
you haven't
stuff.
seen
Go
the
watch
show
it,
yet,
man.
he has like just in the original episode, he has a thing for Hillary.
Yeah.
And Hillary and Jazz kind of go back and forth or whatnot. I'm not going to give it away. But in season 3, you had a line in episode 2. I think I just watched episode. Was it episode 2? At the end, where he says something like, "You gonna run away from that?"
Oh, that was one.
Yeah, that was episode
That was
1. That was
season 3.
Oh, that blew me away. I was like,
Yeah.
that's my dude right
Yeah.
there. Talk that shit.
Nah,
Talk that,
that was
one.
real.
Boy,
That was
I
real.
said that right there. So there's a scenario. And once again, if you haven't seen it, please just turn
Then
away
it's
for
your
a second.
fault.
Yeah, it's
Then
your fault. All right.
Pause the podcast and
pause
go
it.
see it and come
Yeah.
back.
Go back and see it.
But say
So
talk
here's the
about
thing.
it.
So you get with Hillary. You've been with Hillary. You got had it back and forth. LaMarcus is her ex-boyfriend who comes back in her life. He's this star football player, and now they about to get married or got engaged, whatever.
Yeah.
And so after they got engaged, I think it's episode 3.
Yep.
You guys have a kiss, right? This
Yeah.
is after.
It was actually the first episode coming back. That's when she gets engaged or announces
Y'all have an
it,
argument.
Yeah.
because I had told her about herself and she was like,
You did tell her off, man.
and
I
then
think
goes,
she-
and then
that made
goes,
her all
I'm
hot.
telling everybody right now.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, cool.
So then y'all kiss.
Second episode.
So with all that being said, this is the Done There Been That podcast where we talk about scenarios that we've all been in. It's this was fiction. It was written by E and all those guys. Whatever. There's a situation where you and Hillary kiss after she's engaged or whatever. Now there's a dilemma after episode 3 whether she should tell her fiance or not. If you were in that situation and you had a fiance and your ex comes up and you guys embrace and kiss, how would you handle it?
Oh, like would I tell her?
Yeah, would you tell her?
Hell no.
Why?
It's crazy. I think the best part is, like I say, even though we read each script,
Yeah.
At the end, I kind of forget like half the stuff. So I'm watching. I was actually last night while watching 5 and 6. I'm looking at Aunt Viv like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like this.
Oh, shit.
I'm
See, I haven't
this
even
is
seen
nuts.
5 and 6
I was
yet,
like,
so-
this happened?
oh,
I was
yeah.
going low key
What?
nuts. Like I had never, because I haven't seen it before and I forgot.